Tidbit Sports here. I'm Adrian, and today we're going to be looking into a player I've been thinking about a lot recently, and that's Matt Corral, quarterback in his second year this season, and he's just falling off the face of the earth right now. I mean, this is a guy who was considered by many to be a first-round pick, and he's just gone. I mean, he's not on the team, not made one NFL pass yet, and he's currently unsigned. So we have to dig deep right now to find out what happened to this once promising quarterback prospect. And for that, we're going to have to go back in time. Okay, now that's a little too far. But there we go. Okay, Matthew Anthony Corral, hitting him with the full government legal name right there. He started at Ole Miss. And, I mean, I'm going to try to make this just sound not gay. But, look at that man right there. You cannot tell me that he could not be the face of the NFL. He's just got the look, dude. He's got the headband. He's got the nice tattoos. I mean, look at that. That just screams face of the NFL. But anyway, I digress. Corral would earn the starting quarterback role at Ole Miss in 2019 as a sophomore, but he really, started to break out in his junior year in 2021, where he ended up tying the school record for touchdowns in a game with 7 as a junior, rushing for 4 and passing for 3. And 2021 would be Corral's last season at Ole Miss, and he would finish up the season 10-2 and earn his team a bowl appearance at the Sugar Bowl. And the Sugar Bowl actually gives him a big controversy right here, because as we know, many college athletes do not end up playing in the bowl games because it's too much of a risk for injury. Corral had already declared for the 2022 draft, but being the absolute dog that he is, he decided to play in the Sugar Bowl anyway, despite the risk of injury that could potentially derail his NFL career. And can you guys guess what happened to our boy Matt Corral? And for those of you that don't know, here it is right here. Corral in the Sugar Bowl is tackled by the ankle, goes down, and is in some severe pain. When you have NFL scouts deciding your future, it's a very bad look to get injured like this. I know obviously nobody can control it, but scouts are always going to be wary of players that seem injury prone. And when you see that right there, grabbing the ankle, it looks very bad. Luckily for Corral, though, it wasn't as bad as it looked. It was just a high ankle sprain, but it looked very gruesome. And courtesy of our creepy little graph here, that was not the first time the crowd injured that ankle. He actually hurt it a few weeks beforehand in October in a game as well. And then a few months later in 2022, when he got drafted for the Panthers, he would also break that same foot and miss his entire rookie season. But let's face it, we've had so many players in the NFL that are made of glass that have stuck around way longer than Matt Corral has in way less important positions than the quarterback. So it can't just be injuries that have led to the disappearance of Matt Corral. So one thing I found out, my due diligence, my research on Matt Corral, has been there was supposedly some off-field issues with him. I mean, this is a guy who in high school got, the greatest hockey player of all time, Wayne Gretzky. Matt Corral got in a fight with his son at a basketball game. I told you Matt Corral is a dog. But on a more serious note, a report came out that the reason why Matt Corral fell so far in the draft for the third round, as I mentioned, he was discussed as a first-round pick at first. Then he fell to the Carolina Panthers in the third round. And the reason for that, according to this report, is all field issues. One of the big things, he said he struggled with alcohol. He also has came out publicly and talked about dealing with depression. And then also, supposedly, he did really poorly in team interviews. So I guess those 3 things combined right there have kind of turned off NFL teams. And I guess they're still affecting him to this day now. But the more and more I look at it, and before we dive into the film of Corral, it comes down to this fellow right here, Matt Rule. When the Panthers drafted Matt Corral in the third round, Matt Rule was still in town for Carolina. He was their head coach. They had a different coaching staff. And I think when they drafted him, they had good plans for him. They had Corral, they had Baker, they had Sam Darnold. As I mentioned, Corral broke his foot out for his entire rookie season. A key developmental year right there where he could have learned a lot from not a stacked QB room, but you got to think Baker and Sam Darnold, they have some experience. They have some good knowledge for him. He definitely would have had a lot of good practice reps. And then by the time Matt Corral came back and was healthy, ready to play in 2023, Matt Rule was fired and replaced by Frank Reich. And another big piece is they now had Bryce Young. So with the new regime in there, they went after and traded up for the number 1 overall pick and then traded for Bryce Young. And do you really think Frank Reich taking over a new team is going to even look Matt Corral's way when he has the number 1 overall pick, Bryce Young? And one of the big calling cards for Frank Reich and his staff has always been the supposed quarterback whisperer. So for a guy who has that title right there to live up to, he has to go all in on Bryce Young, all chips on Bryce Young to get that number 1 overall pick to live up to the hype. And that kind of pushed Matt Corral to the side, a guy who already had a lot of issues and complications, and now he's competing with the number 1 overall pick in the draft, with a coach who never even really wanted him. I mean, watch Matt Corral's draft call. You can see how happy Matt Rule is to have him on the team, and it seems like he had a lot of influence on that pick. So now before we try to find where Corral is now or what his next plans are, we have to determine, was it off the field? Was it injuries? Was it bad luck with Bryce Young and Frank Reich? Or is Matt Corral just simply cheeks on the field? So now we got to dive into his limited film. Mind you, he only has a few preseason games that he barely even played in to determine if Matt Corral is simply just poor on the field. So for our first look in our film, we'll notice Corral has simple accuracy issues. Right here, we're looking at a simple route concept. We have our deep post. Then we have kind of our deep over route. It's going to end up running over the middle. And then finally, an in route. Now, at this look, notice how we have one high safety circled up the top. That post route is going to be basically canceled out because he's going to be running right towards the safety, which is going to leave us with the deep over and then the in route, those two looks to make off of. And like I was saying, Corral has the IQ. He makes the reads. He has anticipation. He knows where to put the ball, when to put it there. But his footwork is just so amateur. It constantly makes his throws errant and just in a very poor spot, like this pass right here. And receiver has separation. The ball's got to be there. Watch the feet, though. This is the big thing I was saying with Corral. His feet are never in line. Watch the top of his drop. And what I mean by that is after he takes his snap, when he takes his drop steps, look where his feet are now and where he has to get the ball to. And then look how he does a little shift right there to get his feet in the correct position again. So there he is. He shifts. We're going to kind of rewind this real quick, do a slow motion look at his drop once again. What I'm saying is that receiver is to the left of the Carolina Panthers logo. But originally his feet are directly center with it, which is going to be perfect for hitting the Carolina Panthers logo if the route's breaking there. But our route is breaking over to the left. So his feet are leading him in a spot that's making the ball behind and constantly leaving him consistently inconsistent with his passes. So mind you, Corral might not be the world's most accurate passer, but he does have skills when it comes to his legs. Like this play, man coverage, pretty tight coverage. Corral tucks the ball, runs, great decisiveness, taking his strengths and utilizing it in a very successful manner right here. And what I like with this play, honestly, is he's able to notice it's man coverage. Everybody's got a player locked up, and there's no quarterback spy. No one's really focused on Corral right here. So when he steps up, it's all green grass in front of him. Great acceleration, great burst, great blocking as well. Turns it upfield for a solid gain and the first down. Another thing Corral's pretty solid at as well is play action passes and then passes outside the pocket, less structured plays. As we see right here, got a little keeper, little play fake, rolls out. Nice little touch pass right to the tight end. Notice how he's not bulleting the pass right to him. He's getting a nice little touch, nice little lob, gets it there. But yeah, Corral looks really comfortable in a play like this, a system like this. Obviously, he's reading the edge rusher right there. He's got a route concept, little kind of sneaky flat right there, tight end in motion, as well as usually typically, a deep post or a deep over. A deep post on the outside, that is, and then a deep over in the slot. And then Corral, his job here is to sell the play fake successfully, but then also get a lot of depth. I mean, he can't undercut this. He can't run too shallow as he can risk getting caught by the DN. He's got to get enough range where he's not too far, but then where he can also see the field, make his read, decide who to throw it to, where to throw it to. I mean, here he's got a wide open read. Tight end gets a massive window to get into. But just the smoothest that Corral runs is him. The good touch. It's one of the pros that he has is running that RPO system, option system, as well as, good play action fakes. Kind of similar to what he did in Ole Miss in college. Now here we got the same concept. A play fake, setting up with our same exact routes. This time, though, the flat is not open. The tight end cannot be thrown to. So Corral's going to look to hit the deep over, 87, who he's running with. But he just misses the throw. Once again, poor accuracy. And that's a pass that I truly believe that I think almost 32 out of 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL are going to make. So if you're fighting for a job to try to start in the NFL, these are passes you have to hit, especially when you're in preseason and you're only getting a few passes a game and you miss that. It's such a bad look for you out there. And then to go more in with this concept when it comes to the deep over, once again, Corral play faking, getting depth again to avoid the edge rusher. But this time, he's trying to roll out where he's matching up with 87. So as you'll notice, he gets the snap, fakes the handoff, starts rolling, and he's even with 87 the whole way for that deep over. But it's just so inaccurate. Pass thrown behind him. And that's the difference there between a starting quarterback and a quarterback who's not in the league, or a backup quarterback. Because you got to think, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15, whatever the situation is for a starter, that pass has got to be there. And here we have a completion from Corral, which is saying something because in one of his preseason games, he went 1 for 9. But even on this completion, there's still issues with his footwork once again. So we'll see. Watch the drop back. Look at the feet. Look where he's lined up. Mind you, he's throwing once again to the left sideline. His lead knee right now is facing towards the right. His hips are in line to the right. He's going to shuffle forward. And look, he doesn't even reset. When he shuffles forward, he's not getting set into a throwing motion again. He's almost just like hopping forward and freestyling into his throwing motion, which ends up being complete, which, like I'm saying, is good. You're never going to be mad about completion. But you want the consistency. You want him to constantly have good footwork, not just get lucky when he's doing the wrong things out here. So look at that right there. Once again, line up to the right. Shimmy, does not get set, chucks it, makes the completion. So I did a look on the brief tape he has. I saw what I saw during college. He has all the flashes, all the potential to be a star in the league, but it just seems like things are not paying out for him. Just a situation. The Panthers, the loss of Matt Rule, Frank Reich heading in, Bryce Young being added to the team, the injuries, the off-the-field concerns, all that stuff compiled right there. And eventually the Panthers wanted to keep Andy Dalton as the veteran backup for Bryce Young, and they had a decision for, Matt Corral. Told him, you're going to have to sign for the practice squad with us. Matt Corral denied, ended up getting placed on waivers. Then the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick, claimed him. And Bill Belichick, people hold him in regard as one of the greatest head coaches of all time. Sure enough, this is the guy to save Matt Corral, get him on track. And then Matt Corral no-showed. He didn't show up to week 1, and Matt Corral is now officially a free agent. He went from potentially a first-round pick in 2022 to falling to the third round, missing his entire year, getting replaced by the team who drafted him, getting cut by the team who drafted him, getting signed by one of the greatest head coaches of all time, no-showing him, and being left to potentially the world of irrelevancy in the NFL, and now just a free agent waiting for a call to get on the team. But if you look at all the injuries that have happened this season, Matthew Stafford now, Rams bringing in Carson Wentz, for him to not even land a backup role or a practice squad spot, that is a little alarming. Obviously, the flashes potential is always there. Corral, I'm saying he has an amazing talent, high ceiling, but just a low floor. He looks like a Malik Willis to me, but at least Malik Willis has been around the same team the whole time and been given chances to develop when healthy and has good pieces and good weapons around him. So honestly, I wish things were different for Corral, but it seems like his career is going to be doomed with irrelevancy forever. What if Matt Corral never got hurt in 2022 and he got a chance to play? Maybe Bryce Young will be on a different team and the Panthers will be doing a lot better, or maybe a lot worse if that's even possible. Thanks for guys watching, though. Appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe if you thought the video was good. And if you want to see more of extensive film study on Matt Corral on your player, let me know in the comments and we'll get that done for you guys.